Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Well, I've been talking an awful lot about these court systems and what's going on behind closed doors that people don't seem to realize, know about, or even oftentimes want to even believe is happening, even though I can prove it. Here's another one for you. My wife, at the time of a court date, was roughly 8 months pregnant. We walked in, and I talked about how there's so many processes and people involved in the family court system, and even more that I don't even know who they are. I know them by name and by face. I don't know what their title is and why they're even involved in my cases, and there's got to be a half a dozen people in each case involved. This doesn't make any sense. So my ex-wife and I walk into the front of the court. We sit down in our caseworker's office. We had our session in front of our caseworker. My ex gets up and walks out, and I sat and talked to Mr. GRUMAN for a couple of minutes, but I hear yelling. I'm like, okay, that voice sounds familiar. So I walk back out into the waiting room, which is just a small room with a couple chairs right in front of a giant window of the front of the court that has employees behind the window watched all of this. My wife was 8 months pregnant, sitting in a seat waiting for me to come out. And my ex-wife walks out and just starts cussing her out, ripping her a new one, you F and B, and just cussing and swearing and screaming. By the time I got out the door into the waiting room, my wife's sitting there crying. My ex-wife is sitting there screaming, yelling, cussing, swearing, completely absurd. No pregnant woman should be treated like that, especially by another woman who's been pregnant. But yet our court system didn't even care. They just sat there and watched it. Their jaws hit the floor. I open the door and say, Mr. GRUMAN, you need to get out here. And he comes out and just watched. I turned to him and said, do you see what is going on? You guys are protecting that person who is abusing my family. When I talk about how these court systems don't just affect the men, it affects the women that the men try to have a future relationship with or a family, because all I ever wanted was a family. My whole life revolved around having a family. I just wanted a wife and children to raise, someone to love and love me back. The American dream, that's what we were taught, right? It's just the American nightmare is all it is anymore. Keep on dreaming. So the court sat there and watched my ex-wife sit and just rip my 8-month pregnant wife, just rip her up and down, cussing, swearing, and they did nothing. Just let it happen, watched it, and then still continued to support the abuser, because that's all these courts see. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the victims. They don't care about all the violence, the harm, the abuse that take place. All they care about is charging men money. That's it. That's the only agenda they have. Even when I ask them, is my son even still alive? They say, we don't know. It's not our job to determine whether your child's alive or not. Or when my child's being abused, when he's being drugged, when doctors are yelling, and I record and document all this. I have doctors' notices, doctors' reports, recorded doctors yelling at my son's mom to stop drugging our son, that it's going to kill him, and they're screaming at her, but yet are the doctor's hands tied from that when there's a minor child whose life is at stake, being abused, drugged, telling doctors, I'm being abused physically at my mom's house, peeing and soiling himself, because I know what that all feels like. But yet I've taken him to the doctor with those problems. He's told doctors that the police didn't want to get involved, even when it was reported to them. Nobody wants to get involved and do anything but let our children die and suffer and be abused. I mean, when I called Mr. GRUMAN out, when my ex-wife was sitting there cussing out my 8-month pregnant wife, the only thing that came out of his mouth after it was done and over with was, I'm sorry. Wait, what do you mean you're sorry? You guys are seeing firsthand the abuse. Who does that to a pregnant woman who is 8 months pregnant? It's not like she was just 2 weeks pregnant and you couldn't tell. My ex-wife knew it, and she was trying to destroy my family because she didn't want me to have that. Now, my at that time wife found out how corrupt that system is. That's why she went to that system to file reports against me. Because she knows they'll just damn me no matter what she does, because she's watched it firsthand. And now she's just going to use the system in a sick, twisted manner against me. Because this is known, and this is what happens when you empower and privilege mentally ill, abusive. Oh my God, this is insanity. It's insanity. Again, we wonder why so much is happening on the streets. It all starts in our systems. But they'd rather just watch it. Let it. Apparently, I mean, it's just like a real life Jerry Springer episode for them. We don't have to turn on our TV. We go to work, punch in, and watch Jerry Springer all day long. Is that what I'm losing it? I'm seriously losing it. And yes, my wife went into labor almost a full month early. Couldn't have anything to do with the stress she was under from what all that was taking place in our lives, right? All the abuse, all the corruption. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is also damning to my entire life and my children, but yet, how do you make it stop? How do you get empowered and privileged individuals who are corrupt, abusive? How do you get it to stop when the systems all do nothing but support it?